Good evening, good evening. Today, or this afternoon, I don't know, you can see what time is it. It's sunset, all right, sunset. We are in the floodplains of Kasode, where we want to embark on our primogenital travelings of primogenital. We're going to travel the world and try to research on different things. To begin with, our interesting topic today is the one that is trending in the world at this time of the 30th of July 2022. We are several months into the Russia and Ukraine conflict. Just wanted to share something as to why do we think or why do we see such things escalating? Who was going to attack first if Russia did not attack? Is it a mistake for Russia to attack? Is Putin wrong to attack first? Did Putin detect anything that was going to hinder his program, as if he didn't attack first, then there was some one or somebody or something that was going to start attacking the world, either Putin or no, maybe not Ukraine. But what we see now is the conflict that most of us don't understand. So today, this sunset in Kavango West region, the floodplains of Kasode nearby Ngerenge River here, where the swamp that is providing, that is flowing from the Kavango River inland up to Kawe, or from Kawe up to, and it's sinking into Kavango River. I don't know which direction this one does flow. My geographical understanding doesn't still allow me to research whether the river is feeding the swamp or the swamp is feeding the river. As for now, I want us to start with the topic of what is happening really into Ukraine and the rest of the West. To begin with, I want to take us back to 1917, when Vladimir Lenin created a communist state in Russia. And if you listen to that name, Vladimir Lenin, the current president of Russia is even Vladimir Putin. Let us look at Zelensky. Zelensky who? Vladimir Zelensky. So those names are always sounding the same. Though this mother might be married to this husband and then they change the name because of the language. But anyway, we are looking into everything that is escalating into there. So if you listen to the name, you will just understand that these type of people that I'm mentioning are just warmongers. They are just there for war. And they understand that power struggle is in the hands of the war. If you win the war, then you are likely to take the power. So until you are called a superpower or central power or whatever power that you have. So you need to fight. And most of these people are not fighting politically only or ideologically. No, they are fighting physical war, territorial war. You need to be territorial. So if we look at the issue of Ukraine, apparently Russia is fighting in Ukraine because Ukraine wanted to be a friend of America. So we call that territorial. And also apparently there are some Nazi developments that are taking place in Ukraine. That is why Russia wants to fight this Nazism, to denaziate Ukraine, because if he believes if any of his enemies come into Ukraine and fully grabs Ukraine, then Russia is vulnerable. So to protect himself, he attacked Ukraine first. And these attacks, somehow you can understand that Ukraine, before Russia is Russia and Ukraine is Ukraine, or Poland is Poland, or whatever Eastern European country is as it is, we need to understand that when communism was introduced in Russia 1917 by Vladimir Lenin, the West was not happy about it. They even tried to create a white army that was going to fight against the Bolsheviks, the Red Army, to try to defeat them. but with the strength and the unity that the Red Army had, they managed to withstand the White Army that the whites wanted to, that the West wanted to instill into Russia. And then, after that, prior to World War II, there was an argument between Stalin, who went to Britain and France and said, no, I detect the risk of Hitler attacking Poland and then the rest of us. Can we be friends? And they said, no, they can never be friends to a communist state. Contrary to that, they did not trust Russia because Russia betrayed them during World War I when Russia surrendered to Germany during the Brest-Litovsk Treaty, whereas Russia surrendered to Germany, and then this put pressure towards the West. That's why the West were resistant in allowing Russia to unite with them. And then Russia had to take the punch of Germany defeating France within 5 years of the beginning of World War II, and then Germany attacked Russia. These attacks were dire and severe that many Russians lost their lives in the colds and then the homelessness and the rest. But Stalin later on punching back to defeat Hitler. And then they defeated Hitler by occupying all Eastern European countries that Hitler occupied until in Berlin when World War II ended. Now this will tell you that Ukraine was Russia, Poland was Russia, and the rest of the Eastern European countries were Russian. So they were liberated by Russia. This liberty will now cause Russia not to surrender easily with the